Okay, so I figured out how to bring up the chat from that very last game by running through the game again. And apparently what he said was, swear word this, not worthy of our time, good luck with your deck. So, kind of a little bit frustrated probably, but also being, not mad at us, just mad at the game and being like, oh god, this is so grindy and boring, I don't want to do it anymore. So I get that. I think we were on a path towards victory in that game unless he had some combo. Didn't look like he had a combo. He wasn't showing us one, and he didn't. When I asked him about it, it didn't seem like he was like, "Oh yeah, we have the retreat combo in our deck." And even at that, we were at like 35 or 40 life, I think, at that point. So I'm not sure the retreat combo would have been enough. But general closing thoughts. The deck had the strengths and weaknesses I thought it had. I think we really need some path to exiles. We should probably trim random things in the deck to get those paths in. Or some kind of removal. I mean, I found myself constantly sideboarding in Fiend Hunter just because having some removal is like important in a lot of matchups. But the deck did well. It did well where you kind of would think it would do well against other mid-range grindy decks. It just grinds harder. It kind of wins most late games just because most decks can't beat 40 creatures, and if you get a White Mane Lion and a Oketra's Monument online, you're pretty hard to beat. There were definitely some challenging matches in there too. Anything packing Kolaghan's Command is going to give us a lot of problems. We definitely didn't run into that many top tier decks. We ran into a couple pretty high tier decks, but then we also ran into jank. Like one of the jank decks we actually lost to too, which was Dragonstorm. Which I think we would still, even as slow as this deck is, it probably has a good matchup against Dragonstorm. But again, that tells us something about how we should be building the sideboard. Like in a deck like this, you really want Thalia, Garden of Fabian, and she's cheap enough online. Like it would blow the paper budget way up, but online you might as well just throw her in the sideboard. So don't know why I didn't do that, just didn't think about it. I think that would have made that matchup probably super favorable if it wasn't already. We didn't have to sideboard very much because of the matches we ended up in, so I'm not sure. Maybe that could mean the sideboard just wasn't very good, or it could mean that we just didn't happen to hit matchups that were very well descriptive of the meta. But yeah, the big thing I would put in is some amount of removal. Like I said, probably Path to Exiles make the most sense. And maybe go down to Mentor. Three is a lot. He was useful quite a few times, but not all the time. And then I don't know what else I would go down. There's a whole bunch of things I could see going down. The Selfless Spirits didn't end up being that useful. There weren't too many sweepers, but it does feel like 2 is a pretty reasonable number of them. I can see going down a White Mane Lion. I can see going down to the Honor the Pure. I can see going down a Favorite Inspector or a Soul's Attendant. Something in that range, but somehow trimming 4 cards from the deck to make room for 4 Path to Exiles, especially against combo decks that have creature combos, and overall is worth it. But yeah, we did really well. We went 4-1, even if one of those only went to 1 match, and another one, the person scooped the game 1 after not playing a land, either because you didn't draw one or because he just forgot to play one. I'm not really sure which. But yeah, sweet. Don't have too much more to say about it. I feel like the deck's pretty straightforward. If you like White Weenie decks, this one is super cheap. Less than 10 ticks on Magic Online. I could probably bring up the page I have for it. I think this is the deck. So yeah, $8 on Magic Online, and then $50 in paper. It's actually a little less than that. I think it was $45 in paper when I checked, when I didn't have the sideboard added. I think about 10 of those dollars are sideboard cards. Like, you don't need to put in Ghost Quarters. You can put in whatever. But that's the price. Nice and cheap, even for a deck that I run. And if you take out the Selfless Spirits, which didn't really do much in that particular game, the deck would be even cheaper. Like, online Selfless Spirits is $4, and it's almost 10 in paper. So very, very inexpensive deck, and it could be even cheaper if you want it to be even cheaper. And I'm sure you can make it slightly more expensive too if you put in a few more cards. But that's the deck for the week. I really enjoyed playing it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. I will see you guys next time.